a perfectionist because I feel like when you're a perfectionist, it's just like something could be perfectly fine, but in your head, you're just like, well, what if this was better? What if that was better? Da, 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 da. And I try to tell myself all the time, you will never be perfect, Erin. You will never be perfect, no matter how much you try. The only person who can be perfect is Jesus. You're not Jesus. You never will be. You can strive towards perfection, but you will never be perfect. And it's just really hard for me because growing up, it was always like, if you brought home a report card with all A's and one B, it was my dad would be like, so why do you have a B? What happened there? So I always am looking at the mistakes. I don't see the goodness in things. I do see the goodness in other people and their stuff, but when it comes to me, I'm so critical. Like, it's awful. So yeah, I decided I liked that video. But anyway, so like I was saying, I finally feel like I'm progressing. Like before, I was just halted. No action, no movement, nothing was happening. And I think God just kind of wanted to halt me just to say, like, listen, you're not following what I'm telling you to do. You're doing your own thing. You're not listening. I'm telling you to do this. I'm telling you to do that. You're not hearing me out. You're hearing what you want to hear. You're doing what you want to do. And it's just hard for me because I'm a person of action. I'm always a go, 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 go person because I guess it kind of just one other thing that goes back to my childhood. When you have a crazy childhood and you're always moving around, you don't know what stability feels like. You don't know what it feels like just to be peaceful and just to be still. You're always wanting to move to the next step because I guess like I always feel that if I'm not constantly moving, it's like if you've ever seen those video games where you're moving, you keep moving up the steps or moving around and everything around you is breaking. So as you're moving, the bridges are falling, the steps are moving, everything. That's how I feel on a daily basis. Just if I don't move, things are going to crumble underneath me, literally. That's how I feel. So it's hard for me even to stay in one place just because I feel nothing can last that long. Nothing that is good will last that long, which is an awful way to think, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm getting better with it. However, I'm still very hard on myself, so hopefully as time goes on, I can learn to be a little bit more patient with myself and not so critical and harsh when things don't go in a certain timeline. But either way, it does feel good to feel like I am progressing towards something because when you're not fulfilled, when you're not happy with what you're doing, it can be a challenge to just sit there, go to work, be happy. And I think with God, He just wanted me to be happy even though I wasn't in a situation that I necessarily loved. Because at the end of the day, you have to be joyful no matter what your circumstances are. And also, I'm not even... Compared to a lot of people, my life, people would really kill to have my life. And I have to remember that when I didn't have a job, when I didn't have my own place, all I talked to God about is how much I want a job. I would take anything, just, 15, I was even not even $15 an hour, $12 an hour. Now I have a job where I make $15 an hour. I live in my own home, which, isn't like exactly where I want to be, but you have to think about where you were. And compared to, like, if I was here, I'm definitely like right here. I'm in the middle. So like, I want to be here, but I started off here and now I'm here. And I still have halfway to go, but that's still halfway that I've also made it. So yay! Yay me, So it's really exciting. Everything that I finally feel I'm getting out of that depressive state. I'm trying to stay even kill because I don't want to go into the manic state either. The manic state can be fun. It's kind of thrilling. It's like you're on a high. I get a lot of stuff done when I'm in my manic state. A lot of stuff done. I am like moving like 1,000 miles per minute. It's like a rush. You feel like you're on drugs. Your thoughts are everywhere, you're racing everywhere. That's when everyone's like, you're so exciting, you're so much fun, I want to be around you. But the thing about the manic state is just like the thing about the manic state is you can't sustain it. Eventually you're going to crash and burn. You are going to get irritable, you are going to get pissed, In the manic state, I can get 3 hours of sleep and it'll feel like 8. I can get 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep for a whole week and I'll be fine. I can get so much done, but I will crash, I will burn. And it's also what happens is once you crash, because all that adrenaline and feelings wears off, usually what happens, at least for me, is that I go straight into a depressive state. So I have to be very mindful about just keeping it even kill. Not too happy, not too low. Somewhere in the middle where it's balanced. It's all about that balance. You don't want to be too high, don't want to be too up. No, too high, too low, too up, too high, whatever. It's hard. But when I was in my depressive state, it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's just when I get really into my depressive state, which thank God I didn't, there's times where I don't want to live anymore. I feel like no one cares about me. It's just I feel very lonely. I think about all the mistakes I've made. I think about all the people that were once in my life that are not there, and not just like passed away, but just people who walked out of my life, people I pushed away. I think about how no one will ever love me because I'm single right now. So it's like depression, but then it's your own mind is playing tricks on you. The devil takes advantage. It's a very scary time, especially when you're going through something like what I'm going through with my mom passing. It can turn ugly really, really quickly. So I'm just really thankful. I really went through it and now I'm coming out of it and it feels great. And I'm just really happy to just have my little piece back. My house is still a mess. I'm so glad y'all can't see it. But I'm getting there. One of the reasons why my house stays a mess is just because I don't have room for things. My house is a shoebox. Like, compared to what I'm used to and the amount of stuff or shit I have, it's a shoebox. So I don't know. My boss has like an equivalent size house to me, and she says she pays for separate storage. I mean, I could put everything out in my garage. The only thing is, it's not really like my laundry room or whatever. It's not really that secure. So besides the key, and with a lot of like homeless people, I don't know if people know that you can get to that gate back there or whatever. So I just don't want to put too much like valuable things out there, because just in case something does happen and someone does take all of my stuff out of there, or so, it'll be things I don't really care about. So yeah, that's my life right now. I am also gonna start applying to more jobs. I am going to kind of broaden my job field. I want to stick with social services, but if I'm going to be moving to Riverside, I know I don't want to do this commute to like Elsinore to Riverside, even though it's only like 40 minutes, but listen, when you have bipolar disorder, anything can set you off. Anything. So sitting in traffic an hour after work can be too much. So since I don't take medicine, I have to be very, very mindful of anything could set me off. It could be like anything, traffic, not eating right, not getting enough sleep, colors, where I work, like anything can trigger me, anything. And because I don't take medicine, I don't really have anything to balance me except myself and the techniques that I have used that have helped. So, and one day I may have to look into getting medicine if it gets bad enough, because I know it can get worse. I mean, there was times probably when I should have taken medicine. There was times where I could have been Baker acted, but I didn't. Thank God the people didn't put me in those situations, and the people but there were times where like I probably really could have qualified for it, and that's always scary when you have bipolar disorder. You're always like worried that you could sink deeper in. You're always like, okay, it's good now, but what if one time there's something that I can't handle? And I've just kind of tried to get over that fear, where I remind myself of all the times where I thought there was something like that would send me over the edge and I survived. There's a lot of things that happened to me where I survived them and I'm here today. So I try not to think too much into the future except to say that God had me then, God has me now. I've made it through then, I'll make it through now. So that's all you can do. Stay positive. Because like I always say, bipolarness is a part of me, but it doesn't define me. You know, it's a fraction of me, but there's all these other parts of me. I like to write. I like to read. I love people. I love kids. I think I love film, especially nitty-gritty films where it exposes the injustices or the miseries of life. I love meditation. I believe in astrology. Yes, I am a Christian that believes in astrology. I love RuPaul and all of the drag queens. There's just so many aspects of me. I'm a sister. I'm an aunt. I'm a daughter. I'm a hard worker. I'm dedicated. I'm loyal. I'm a lover. I'm a fighter. There's so many other things to me that besides me being bipolar. So I'm not going to let it take over my life. It's a part of my life, but it's not going to be my whole story. Not now, not tomorrow, and not ever. So yeah, with that, ciao.